We done a bunch of mulching for him. It's been almost exactly a year ago, going by my pictures. We mulched this area up here behind the house, and now we're doing a little bit of view enhancement on the front of the house. It's a chain link fence, as you can see right here to our right. This chain link fence goes around the whole property, around the front of the house. It's about probably 3 or 4 acres that's fenced in by this chain link fence. The customer contacted me, wanted me to come back up and do a little bit of food plot clearing and some road maintenance. We ain't been able to do much road maintenance this week. It's been super foggy, wet, nasty, just crappy weather to be trying to grade a road, just a little too muddy. So we've been doing the mulching for him, and he said that he's gonna get us back up here to do some road work, you know, once it dries up a little. This is a super good client. I'm glad we met him last year. Just super easy to work with, and all around, him and his wife both are great people. But I'll take you along down here to the bottom. We're going to start clearing for their view, to open their view back up. I'll try to do some video once we get done of the top side of their deck, like looking off of the mountain. This is Medozadane, Virginia, so their property actually looks off of the mountain. So it's a super good view, especially once the fog lifts. It's really pretty. So we're gonna go down here to the bottom of the hill and get started. I'm gonna do some cutting with a chainsaw. I got Mike, he's up here mulching over what we did last year, just re-mulching everything. That's what the customer wanted. It had a few bushes that started to sprout back, so he wants us to, you know, go over and kind of dress everything up. So I got Mike busy doing that. I'm gonna go down here and do some hand cutting with a chainsaw off of this fence, and then I'm gonna take and stack all this brush in this roadway here. Well, really it's not a road, it's a UTV trail. The customer is okay with us leaving the mulch in the trail, and being on this mountainside like this, it'll help with erosion also. first little corner cut out. My goal is here, I'm going to take and cut this stuff off the bank, and then I'm going to take and pile all the brush to the side to where I can still travel through here. And then once Mike gets done up there where he's at, he's going to come down here and mulch this up, and then I'll move it back out into the road. It's tight quarters through here, and we only got one little road bed to sit in, so we're gonna have to keep it clean for me to travel back and forth. And it won't be no big deal to have to pull it back up into the road for Mike to mulch it when he gets here. It's a few trees on the other side of the fence next to the yard. Probably, I don't know if we can get the machine on the edge of that yard with it being wet. If it was dry, we could probably track right down through there and do this the same way. But with it being wet, I'm not sure. We might have to go up there and cut it with a chainsaw and just stack it up, and then I'll reach over the fence, pull it over on this side. His septic tank is actually down here on the other end of where I'm at, so he's over there now with a weed eater cutting around that to where he can show us where the septic tank and drain fields are. He just had the drain fields and stuff replaced about a year ago, so he, you know, we don't want to get in there and tear that back up. This is where it would be nice to have an extra man to be out on the ground cutting this stuff while I move it. You could move a lot faster like that. But for now, we're gonna get it done with just 2 people. Back to the chainsaw. progress. Got a drainage pipe, corrugated pipe right here. Try to work around that without messing it up. It might be like a gutter drain or something, I'm not sure. Or it could be just an old pipe with a big old rock. Set that back up there. Client said cut this bottom side, and then we'd see what the boss says, which is his wife. She's up there on the deck looking down, making sure things are going right. When it comes to these views, most of the time the wife is the one that says what goes and what stays, so ain't nothing wrong with that. We like to make everybody happy. Most people think that I always work for guys that owns property, hunting property and stuff like that, but a lot of times it's, you know, women that's got, and their husbands that's got places like this, and they just want to open it up to be able to see. So we take into consideration what the woman thinks too, so. Try to make everybody happy. I think that's kind of the trade-off. The man gets the deer hunting woods and the food plots, and the women gets the view. I hope the fog lifts to where I can get some footage of what this looks like. Last time I was up here working, I think I took some pictures. I don't know if I still got them pictures or not. It was a little foggy. You could see the fog like on the mountaintops across there. It was real pretty. Alrighty, we made it to the other side here. We're on the other corner. Took about, I guess I've been working on this 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Got everything cut off the fence down through there. Been talking to the clients a little bit too. His wife come out and she's wanting to leave a little bit of stuff on the top side of the fence up there to where it kind of hides the fence. That way it ain't an eyesore. So some of the material on the top side we're going to kind of leave in place. That way it kind of hides the fence for her. Right here, if you see right in front of me here, right in there is the septic tank. Why they put the septic tank down here, I'll have no clue. He said that when he bought this property, they couldn't find the septic. So I think the guys that come and repaired it ended up doing some digging down here and ended up finding it. I'm not sure why they put the septic so far down the hill, but they did. So we've got to watch that when we bring the mulcher around here. Mike, he's still working on that top side, mulching that down. When he gets down here, I'll let him know what's going on. I want to be sure not to tear that up. take these root balls off the best I can. That way Mike can mulch them up. This is very rocky terrain up here. Like I said before, we're in the mountains, so it's pretty much a given. Said it ain't got to be pretty, he just wants to be able to get down here to access this, to be able to keep this maintained a little better. I think he's going to keep it sprayed. The way it's on this hill like this, you could bush hog some of it with a tractor, but it would be hard to get up on this bank. Plus the customer, he don't have a tractor, so that's why he gets us to do most of his work. He actually lives in Tennessee. This is a vacation home. Excavator, I know I've said it a many times, one of the handiest tools you can use doing work like this. Doing this fence here, if you had to come in here and cut all this stuff by hand and try to drag it down with a mulcher, and it'd be a nightmare. You got to use the right equipment for the job. Productive, easier, just makes sense. I can't wait for fall. Cool off some. Kind of feels like fall the way it's been this week. The weather, they're calling for a chance of rain every day, thunderstorms, but it's been super foggy and just kind of dreary up here. But the temperature, man, is awesome. Mid 70s, low 70s. It's been great. Be careful around this fence. It's the barbed wire. It's got 3 strands of barbed wire at the top of this chain link fence, and that stuff where it's old, it's just kind of dangling in places. So I'm trying to watch it. up here is where Mike's been working. This is the area that we mulched last year. The brush was super thick up here. You couldn't even hardly walk through here. It was an old wood slat fence down this side right here, one of the really old ones. It was hard as a rock, but we took and mulched that fence up because the fence was falling down, covered in brush. And I figured I'd do just a little follow-up video on what it looks like about a year after we mulch. Now this is really heavily covered with bigger trees, so not as much sunlight gets in here. And as you can tell, you know, the mulch is still on the ground, and it's got a few weeds coming back up through it, but it's nothing major. It's a couple of maple stumps that's sprouting back. They're about waist high. He just wanted us to come in here and run back over these bushes and everything just to kind of make us look good again. Him and his wife both was super happy with how it turned out, how everything looked. Like I said, without being able to access this and be able to walk through here, you know, it's kind of useless to them. There's a lot of rock in here, as you can tell. So you can only do so much as far as the finished product. If you get to really grinding it into the ground and trying to mulch it up super fine, you just ruin the teeth. But it looks really good through here. Like I said, him and his wife both, they were super happy with how it turned out. They've got us back up here to do more work for them, so I guess that's a good thing. I guess that means that they're happy, and that's what we like. But Mike's on the other side of the driveway. He's finishing up over there. And then he's going to come down to where I've been working at this morning on the fence. He's going to mulch all that material down there up. But not much has grew back in here. Now if all this big timber was cut and a lot more sunlight can get in here, it would be a lot more growth that came back. Customer, he's got a nice little firewood stack here. You don't see stacks like that very often. That's pretty neat. Nice and neat. Looks like they cut them a couple benches out of some bigger chunks. But I just wanted to do a follow-up video, that way you can see what these woods look like about a year after mulching.